You're never too young to teach the next generation, and this week's community champion knows that better than anyone.
And meet the Brevard County high schooler who's introducing a love of math and numbers to as many fellow students as he can.
Ayan Amami, if you would please come forward.
A true surprise for our WESH 2 community champion when he was recognized by one of the high school principals he works with. He thought this was just a routine award ceremony for the school.
And I know that he is absolutely not expecting this in any way, shape, or form, and he is truly one of the most humble young people I have had the pleasure of getting to know.
Ayan Amami hasn't even graduated high school yet, but he's the founder of a nonprofit dedicated to creating equal educational opportunities in Brevard County by providing tutoring at select schools.
I used to work at a local tutoring company here from my ninth grade to middle of junior year. I resigned because I saw time after time students coming into that program who were fortunate enough to afford it and be able to get access to these resources, just take it for granted sometimes.
And that's when he registered his new 501c3, Math Minds, focused on those schools that need a little more help.
These students want the opportunity to learn. They want the opportunity to have these resources, but they simply just don't have access to it. And it breaks my heart to see that.
You have to really love this profession to stay in it for a long time. And he's starting so young, and he cares so much, and it's incredible.
He is the solitary man behind the nonprofit for now, but Amami says this labor of love comes easy.
The passion comes out when the student finally understands a topic that they have been really struggling in. And I do believe that moment, that when they finally understand, is worth more than any paycheck that I've ever received from my old job. So let's look at this problem. A bus is traveling at a constant speed along a straight portion of road.
And sure enough, his patience shines through, even with those who may be less math inclined. Do you have the same propensity for math as he does?
Nope, I don't. I think it comes from his dad. Yeah.
Has he ever tried to teach you?
No.
He knows better. Is that what it is?
We're very proud of him for doing what he's doing, and he was excited, and I'm glad that he's doing what he's doing right now.
And Ayan is just getting started, hoping to expand his tutoring this summer across various schools. He's actively looking for volunteers to help him reach as many kids as he can.
What a profound teacher. I don't know that that's where he's heading in his career, but he would be a wonderful, wonderful teacher. Right? Just very down to earth with our students. He's able to relate to them very well as he delivers the math content, and I couldn't be more grateful.
A worthy celebration for our WESH 2 community champion. And Ayan Amami is joining us now in studio. Ayan, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm doing great. I know. Thank you for squeezing us in today because you've got an AP exam later today.
Yeah, last one.
Last one. Okay, well, that's good. What is it like juggling your own schoolwork with the process of helping others?
It's not that bad, actually. I enjoy doing it. I like school, and I also like helping others. I mean, it's not that bad for me. It's something I enjoy.
Well, the passion comes through very clear. For those who are not as passionate about math, how do you sort of get them over that hump?
So I think you just have to reason with them and go down to them and just tell them that this is important and this will help you in the future. And once they realize that, they are more on board than you would think.
Okay. One of the big things that I did want to talk to you about this morning is the summer program that you are launching. You've been working with 3 schools over the past school year. How are you expanding that this summer?
So with the help of the county school board, they have got involved 3 more schools. So in the summer, starting June 3rd, there will be 6 schools involved into the summer program. It's a 4-week program, so 1 in June, 1 in July. That'll take us through the whole summer, and it's ACT prep because there's an ACT test coming up on, I think, June 13th.
Okay.
So for the first 2 weeks will be strictly ACT for their juniors and just trying helping them out.
And your work speaks for itself. I know you got some really good news yesterday about some of the students that you've been working with over the past year.
So I heard from the teacher I'm working under out one of the schools that out of the 10 students that consistently came throughout this semester, only one of them did not pass their state exam to graduate. So that's big because now their seniors can walk across the stage with a diploma.
Yeah, that's huge. You are making such an impact. I mean, we've been hearing it from so many people as well. This summer, do you have an idea of how many students you guys are going to be able to help?
Not a rough idea, but there's 10 at one school, so if you multiply that by 6, that's around 60 students.
It's a big impact. How are you beefing up staff? Right now, it's just you.
I'm on the lookout. With my own school, there are some students that are willing to help me, and I appreciate them greatly. It's in the process.
What would you like people to know about math, about numbers, if they find it particularly hard? Obviously, you saw how difficult it was for me when we were doing a little practice tutoring session.
I think that there's always another way to solve a problem, right? So when a teacher teaches a student, at first, they might not understand it, but when another peer student teaches the same thing in a different way, it suddenly clicks for them. And I think that's something I've always believed in.
Yeah, you do a great job, Ayan. Good luck with your future endeavors. Thanks for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And good luck on your AP exam
Thank you.
this afternoon.